Namaste. Today we're going to understand Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 1.8. The sutra itself reads as Viparyayo Mithya Jnanam Matadrupa Pratishtham. Now let's break up the Sanskrit sutra and start understanding each of the words and what they stand for. So the word Viparyayo refers to false or incorrect knowledge. Then we come to the next one, which is Mithya, which also means false. And the next one is known as Gyan or Jnanam, which refers to knowledge. Finally, we come to the last two words, which refer to Atadrupa, which means something that does not correspond to its form. And the last one is Pratishtham, which means based on. So now that we've understood the individual meanings of all of these words, let's tie the entire sentence together and try to see what it's saying to us. So this sutra is talking about the Viparya thought wave, and it's telling us that it essentially is something that is false or not correctly perceived by the senses. Because of that, it doesn't rely on factual information, and therefore we create a perception that is incorrect or doesn't really match or correspond with the reality of the situation. So now let's understand this a little further in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra context. Now, Muni Patanjali explained the 5 different types of thought waves to us. And this was really important so that we can understand how to control these thought waves and how to harness them at will. For most of us, one of the most challenging things is overthinking. And overthinking tends to happen because A, we don't know our thought waves well enough. B, we have no control over what kind of thoughts are entering our mind. And C, instead of it being a conscious effort at thinking or creating thought waves, they just seem to be doing their own thing and flashing across our mind at different intervals. So because of this, Patanjali decided to help us understand what the different thought waves are so that we can actually learn to harness them and maybe create the thought waves that we need. And then when we're in meditation and we want fewer thought waves, we can even have that happen. So now, understanding this, let's get into Viparya and understand how it features in the whole scheme of things. Now, sometimes we have a thought wave that is generated by a misconception or that is generated by misunderstanding an event that is happening around us. For example, at night, if there's a loud sound that comes, we immediately think that this is something absurd, that we don't know what has happened. We might even get a little bit scared. And so the thought wave in our mind is that of fear, is that of being worried, and is that of just overall taking tension as to what could that sound be. But sometimes that sound is just a box falling over or something very silly happening at home just by chance. And because we didn't bother to check what the factually correct thing was, we have now created a thought wave in our mind that doesn't correspond to the actual reality of the situation. And this is just one example. There's so many different times when our senses don't perceive something correctly and therefore create a worrisome or sometimes even negative or a wrong thought wave in our mind. Now, one is of course when your senses don't perceive something correctly. The second can also happen when you infer something incorrectly. So you're trying to make a logical conclusion, but because you don't have enough facts with you, or because you're just jumping ahead of yourself and jumping to conclusions, you might arrive at a conclusion that is creating a Viparya thought wave because it doesn't rely on enough facts or it doesn't rely on enough information to create that inference. And finally, the third type of Viparya thought wave is when we're relying on somebody's testimony or somebody's word and we think that's a reliable person, and after a while we might realize that maybe that person is not an expert in that field, or maybe they misjudged something themselves and so their testimony cannot be relied on. So these are some of the different types of Viparya thought waves that keep coming up in our minds, and it's just about identifying them and realizing that, this seems to be a Viparya thought wave that is not really corresponding to the right knowledge around me. I hope this has helped you understand what Viparya thought waves are all about, and what I suggest you can do is make a journal and just keep notes on the kinds of thoughts that you have. The sooner you try to identify your thoughts and realize what they're all about, the easier it will become to categorize your thought waves into these different types. With that, we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Please do share this video with your friends and your family, especially those who are studying yoga or yoga philosophy, and help them to understand the whole chapter and the whole expanse of yoga so much better. We'll see you now in the next video. Until then, take care, and we'll see you very soon. Namaste.